Kind of a sad time of the year now where seasons are changing, fall's coming, and it's about time to put the cars away for the summer. And I think this winter I may be taking a bit of a break from DDS. I may still film some stuff from time to time, but things have really changed in the last 18 months of my life, especially with Ryan having a beautiful baby girl there. He hasn't had so much time, so we haven't had a lot of time to hang out and cause ruckus, so not too sure what's going to happen over the winter time, but all I know is fall is here. This is pretty much it for the Omega. I'm taking some pictures and then I'm going to park it for the winter, and I guess it'll be the Nova's turn next. That's it for 2017. Been a good year. We got her back in the 13s at least. Time to drain the oil now, do an oil change, and winterizer. Typically I do oil changes after every race weekend and that, and being that the driver's not racing this weekend, might as well change it now. Still comes out pretty clear. I don't think I have more than about 200 miles on this motor, and yeah, is it a waste of oil? There's two sides to look at it, because by draining the oil, if I see a lot of metal in it, then I know there's a problem. But and then I did that with the Nova back in 2011 and avoided a catastrophic failure with my first 406. Had a lot of metallic in it, and yeah, my main bearings were worn. And by detecting that early, it was only a rebuild instead, and freshening up instead of a complete rebuild. So yeah, one could debate how often to change your oil. And I run the Castrol 2050 in my cars as recommended by my engine builder, Dan. Due to getting older and getting sidetracked easy and an ADD and oh geez, a squirrel, I now resort to using notes that I put on the windshield of cars, because now I'm letting the oil drain. I've lowered the car down. I'm just going to let it drain for a bit. And in case I get sidetracked and God knows what, I know not to start the car because there's no oil in it. There are some notes that I've taken. Tuning notes for the cars. What I've done, because I can't remember between the Nova and the Omegas, I've resorted to writing on the upper radiator cover. And I've written down when I've changed the plugs last, what I've got them gapped to, the fuel I'm using, what my timing's at, my jetting and power valve, because in my old age I can't remember. Here we are 5 days later with the Omega. I'm going to get this oil change finished because I didn't bother renewing the registration on the Nova, so it's next. Pretty much I think my cars are done for the winter, so let's get this finished. Alright, so I got the oil filter on the Omega. Just looking over at the Nova now. Seems to be a little bit of a puddle forming underneath. And given the location of it, I'm going to say it's transmission fluid. So just going to have to give the Nova a little TLC after I'm done the oil change here. And I guess that'll turn into another episode too. So, always something on these old cars. Always something. As I mentioned earlier, Castrol GTX 2050. Blood of my motor. And being that I'm super cheap, as you saw in the previous episode, I'll literally stand here for about 5-10 minutes, make sure I get every last drop out of it. I may even angle it and close the hood. Still a little wee strand there. Let that drip for a bit. Now let's go investigate that leak under the Nova. Well, maybe I should dispose of the old oil first, because with my luck I'll end up kicking that half across the garage again. So here I am draining the oil. Let's see. Yeah, there's a little bit of copper, a little bit of metal there. Still kind of draining, so doesn't look too bad. There's no big huge chunks or anything, so I don't really think there's anything to worry about.